now calling the matters of the people versus Timothy Talley Williams. Appearances for the record, starting with Mr. Williams, who's representing himself. It's okay, Attorney Vinik. He's representing himself.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Williams, can you state your name for the record, please?
Timothy for the record, here by special visitation.
All right. And this is the date and time set for a final pretrial in this matter. We are scheduled for a jury trial on Monday. Attorney Mason has tendered to the court a witness list in this matter, as well as a special jury instruction, sir, for you to be able to see in this particular matter. And let me ask again for the record, you have the right to have an attorney. Would you like to have an attorney for you in these matters, sir?
Well, for the record, I'm here to serve a default judgment. I serve you, Andy and Mason, the affidavit. Back.
You did, and I'm in receipt. Oh, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep going.
Yes, on the first, and I gave you 15 days. All in, it was 23 days I gave you, and I haven't received a rebuttal. So I served you guys with a default.
I don't know what a default is. So there's no default judgments in criminal matters. These are criminal matters. So the only default that we have is if you don't appear to answer for a ticket, then the default that goes into place is your failure to answer for a ticket. Once it's established and it's here, I don't have to establish why these are tickets on the docket. That's why they have the jury and the bench trial options for you. These have been matters that have been, unless there's been a motion about a formally written motion about illegal stop or some constitutional violation, these tickets are considered to be valid and true.
No, I answered the affidavit of non-corporate existence.
So Mr. Williams, the answer to the question today is whether you're going to trial on Monday or not. That's all I'm here for.
Well, you guys haven't rebutted my affidavit.
Mr. Williams, again, I'm going to say, Mr. Williams, again, the question for today is whether you're going to trial on Monday or not. That's all. I have officers present. I have officers Evans present. I have Officer McCree present. I don't know if Officer Bush is coming as well, but they are here today to know whether or not they're going to be ready for trial on Monday. We set this jury trial out a long time ago for this trial on Monday. So are we going to trial?
Officers? What officers?
We have Officer Evans and Officer McCree present today.
And Judge, I have Officer Nunley. He's trying to check in right now. Faison Nunley.
Officer Bush is here also.
Thank you, Officer Bush.
Good
I didn't see. Good morning. Oh, it's Evans Williams. Okay, say thank you, Officer Bush.
Okay, we go to trial.
Okay, so Monday we go to trial. Do you have a witness list or no? It's just you, Mr. Williams.
Yes, I have 3 witnesses.
Anything else you want to say for the record, Mr. Williams?
No, that'll be it.
Okay. All right. So you have a drive unregistered, untitled motor vehicle and drove while unlicensed and a no proof of insurance. That's one officer. The next officers are open alcohol driver, tinted windows, no seat belt, no driver's license, no insurance, untitled motor vehicle. And then the final officer is going to be drive unregistered motor vehicle, no insurance, no license ever acquired, and tinted windows. Okay.
And Your Honor, if I may interject, since he does have an email, I can copy those tickets and email them over to him. Please. So that he can have them. I'll come down and get those. And I will email those tickets over to you, Mr. Williams.
Okay.
So that way you can see what
the record, are we able to argue these matters right now, or are we going to trial?
You said you want to have a trial. What you want to argue?
Yeah,
you
but
want
I'm
to talk
still
to
like,
Attorney Mason?
What was that?
I said, you want to talk to Attorney Mason just briefly in the breakout room and see if y'all can resolve any of the tickets?
Well, we was just emailing, and I don't know if it meant anything to her, so that's why I'm willing to take it to trial. And
well, because you can't say I just want you to dismiss it because I'm not a citizen. That's not gonna work. Or I just want you.
Oh no, that's not it. I got laws stating that all this is frivolous, but I'm saying, can we argue this right now, or do we?
A lot of people will say the laws are frivolous. Well, yes, if you have some argument that you would like to make, you can make it that way. I can rule, and that way we can go to, if we're going to move forward to trial, we can go to trial. Yes, Attorney Soroki?
Yeah, if you like, I could speak to Mr. Timothy Williams in a breakout room for a few minutes, explain the legal system to him.
Yes. Can you?
No, sir.
Do you want to make your argument first, Mr. Williams, or do you want Attorney Soroki? Just he wants to give you a little feedback. That way you'll be prepared for Monday's trial. No? All right. He doesn't want it, Attorney Soroki. Thank you, though. Back on the record in the matter of the people versus Timothy Williams. Can I have appearances? First, Attorney Mason, then Mr. Williams.
For the record, Your Honor, D. Chiku Mason, City of Detroit, 43471.
All right. Mr. Williams?
Yes, Timothy before the court, hereby special appearance as a state citizen, not a U.S. citizen.
Okay. Changes every time. All right. You want to make a motion or you want to make an argument as to these tickets? You can go ahead at this time, Mr. Williams.
Okay, for the record, hold on. For the record, Shapiro versus Thompson states that all citizens must be free to travel throughout the United States, uninhibited by statutes, rules, or regulations, which unreasonable burden or restrict movement. Did you get that?
I'm listening. I'm just writing down. You see, I got my notepad. Okay. I'm writing down notes.
And then Murdoch versus Pennsylvania, the Supreme Court decided that a state cannot arbitrarily or erroneously convert a secure liberty, in this case, the secure right to travel, into a privilege and charge of or issue a state can't arbitrarily or erroneously convert a secure liberty into a privilege and issue a license and a fee for it, meaning we don't need license or insurance to travel throughout the land. And Murdoch versus Pennsylvania states no state convert secure liberty to a privilege. No, Shuttlesworth versus Pennsylvania. No, Shuttlesworth versus Birmingham, Alabama. You can ignore the license and engage in a right with impunity if you happen to have a license. And back to Murdoch versus Pennsylvania, no state may convert a secure liberty into a privilege. So no state has a right to require you to have a license. Hold on.
Okay, so that's your argument as far as no state can force you to have a license.
Require.
Because it's a constitutional right to travel.
Which is our First Amendment.
So this right to travel was about a welfare case, Mr. Williams, where she wanted to go to a different state. And they told her that because she didn't have established residency in that she was going to be denied services.
Right, and that violated her.
Right, because it's talking about services. She needed to take care of her child. She was 19 and she was pregnant.
But you avoiding the facts of the case. Even though that she filed a lawsuit against the state for denying her privileges, but the the Supreme Court
Right.
ruled that the Supreme Court ruled that can't happen because that also be violating her right to travel throughout the states, throughout the
To
land.
receive the benefits that she needs in order to take care of herself and her child.
Yes, but you're missing the argument that the Supreme Court has stated. That'll be violating her First Amendment right. Life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Travel. You see that ruling? I don't want you to miss that fact. That's what they ruled.
They said the closest the Supreme Court has come to overturning Shapiro Thomas was in 1995 with Anderson versus Green, California Welfare and Interstate Code annotated section instituted a 1-year residency requirement for welfare aid, violating Shapiro versus Thompson. Both lower courts in California affirmed that it violated Shapiro versus Thompson and granted an injunction. I'm sorry. Due to the procedural issue, California's residency requirement never went into effect, creating no justifiable controversy action and no actual issuance for the court to rule on. Whether they receive a waiver from the Secretary of Health or Human Services to set aside Shapiro versus Thompson, making the residency requirement pseudo-legal, the waiver was challenged again, and it's holding that the state court and the Secretary of HHS had not adequately considered public comment on the issues. So this just talks solely about, even talks about the social impact. The social impact and the legal impact is that you can go different places, and we as the government of each state still have a requirement to take care of those citizens within our state. This is about welfare. Yeah, this is about the welfare system and the ability for people. You cannot stop people from traveling. I don't see anything in here about a driver's license.
Look, the decision of the court.
Right, she has the right to go places.
Look, the court reaffirmed the right to travel under the 14th Amendment Privilege and Immunities Clause in Suez versus Roe. So they conferred it to another case. But the conclusion of the case like that would be violating her right to travel. It have something to do with the welfare, but it's violating her right to travel.
All about that. Because the reason why we can't prohibit her from being able to travel or to go to another state is because then they're saying once she gets to that state, she has to establish some type of residency. And what they're saying is that if she doesn't have that residency, she wouldn't get the services needed. And so they're saying you can't say, oh, you can't go to this state and not get the stuff that you need to take care of yourself and your family just because you're not. I can't stop her. I can't say you can't move to this state and then we're going to block everything. I can't do that. Right. This is not about a license.
Violate the right to travel.
No.
That was the decision of the court. I'm not making that up.
You aren't, but you're not understanding what their decision was based on. Yes, you have the right to travel, but this is concerning services.
So if I chose to carry a weapon, I will be bearing arms.
If you chose to carry a weapon in the state of in Illinois, that's an automatic. You're not allowed to carry weapons at all in the state of Illinois unless you're a law enforcement officer. So if you traveled over the state lines and you went to Illinois and you tried to carry a gun, they would tell you no.
But that's irrelevant, Your Honor. We're talking about the state of Michigan. I have a right to bear arms, but you will call it receiving a but the Constitution of Michigan states that I can bear arms, but
because once again, and we had this conversation already, the states can make stuff more, the localities can make stuff